Hello, this is Catherine from Accelerated Reader reading books for you. Today, I will be reading Chapter 5 from Unabo, The Magic Tree of Love by Dr. Rebecca Verghese Paul, illustrated by Ada Konewki. Before I begin reading, I would like to give a big thanks to the author for sending me this book to read on my channel. In the description below, I've included links where you may find and purchase this book. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chapter 5. The Rogues Are Here. It had been a few years now since Unabo had come to the village, and the villagers' lives revolved around the tree. The biggest square, where the largest gatherings were held, was the one around the tree. As Bodero grew a bit older, the tree started giving him a few pieces of wood. Bodero found a sharp knife, and his father taught him how to use it very carefully. He began carving the wood pieces into different shapes, using whatever was closest to him as a model. Spirit was always around, and the first carving he made was one of his faithful dog. He soon began carving the things he saw around him: people, animals, boats, flowers, anything he found interesting. It took him time, but he persevered. In a year or two, Bodero had become very good at the carving he did. He gave Mayana his first proper carving of Spirit, and soon everybody found out about the carvings he did. They loved Bodero's work and often said it seemed almost lifelike. His parents were surprised at how good the carvings were. They came from a long line of builders and expected that when Bodero grew up, he too would become a builder. They had no idea where he got his talent from. It was not surprising then that Bodero soon had customers, and his family sorely needed the money he earned. He was glad because he could now help his parents. He hoped that someday they would be able to afford new clothes for him. The travelers who sometimes came over the mountains soon heard of Bodero and always stopped to buy some of his carvings. All he wanted was to become a carpenter one day. Then suddenly, without warning, things in the village changed. The villagers had considered their isolation as their good fortune. They knew the havoc a tree like Unabo could cause if too many outsiders found out about her. And one night, their worst fears became true. A gang of thieves called the Rogues heard of the tree and came to town. They snuck up to the tree in the middle of the night and tried to steal the sweets. Unabo was conscious of the evil in their hearts and realized what they were planning to do. So she made the sweets invisible to their eyes. The thieves tried everything they could think of, but alas, they did not know the secret of the tree, that she determined the purity of the person's heart before she gave them anything. Frustrated that they could not find the sweets, the rogues tried cutting the tree down. The axe broke, just like one had on the very first day. They tried everything they could think of, but to no avail. Out of sheer desperation, they decided to burn the tree down. The smoke was slowly wafting along the breeze, and a loud wailing, like the cry of a baby arose from Unabo as she started to catch fire. And suddenly all the lights in the village came on. The thieves ran for their lives. By the time the villagers realized it was Unabo who had cried out. There was no trace of the thieves except for a broken old axe and a pitchfork. They saw the fire the robbers had tried to start and made sure to put it out. They also found some matches close by. The rogues had it all planned out. If they could not get at the sweets, they had planned to destroy Unabo. And this scared all of the villagers far more than they realized. They discussed having someone guard the tree at night. But then, a few days later, they decided it was a waste because Unabo seemed to know how to protect herself better than they did. And she was a magic tree after all, right? The thieves carried the story of the ghost tree far and wide, of the tree that seemed alive and whose fruits you could never see. Some wondered if the legend could be right. Was there any truth in the story about a tree that was almost human? Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for Chapter 6. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the description below, I've included links where you may find and purchase this book.